So Shanna, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely,
It's
no
nice
problem,
to
no
meet you.
problem.
I get to spend a little bit of time with you.
Yes, sir, same.
Yeah, so this is your second stint with the city of Mansfield,
It is,
isn't
yes, it is.
You talk to me about that. Tell me what you started here with originally and
Okay.
tell me how you came back.
So in 2006, I actually started in the jail. I was a jailer for about a year and a half. Then I was chosen to go to the police academy, and I went through the police academy in 2008 and actually was a marshal or a deputy city marshal, and I did inmate transport, and I did that through the merger where we actually became to the police department, and then I was there up until I believe it was 2020 when they did kind of some restructuring, and I just didn't have quite enough seniority to not make the cut.
Yeah.
So
In 2020 we stopped taking federal inmates here and we
Yeah.
had a restructuring and wow, that's incredibly unfortunate. You were one of the ones that there were others that had more seniority. But,
Yes.
So where did you go from there?
So when I left there, or left here, I went to Mansfield ISD Police Department, and I was a school resource officer over at Annette Perry Elementary. Go Falcons. So I was there for 2 years, and I learned of a position back over at the city at Animal Control, which is something I had always wanted to do. So I decided to go ahead and just leave the police world and come back to the city and finish out my time here with the city at Animal Control.
So how long have you been here the second time?
Since December 19th, so little shy of 2 months.
Okay, well we're definitely glad to have you back.
Yes, it's been great. Glad to be back.
We were talking before we sat down, you said sometimes God works in mysterious ways and
sure.
things work out the way they're
sure.
supposed to. Talk to me about that.
So it worked out, and it worked out to where it was better for my kiddo, for us to be able to take my kiddo to school in the morning and get him kind of set in a better pattern. And I got to meet some really good people over at ISD, some lifelong friends that work there, and the kiddos and the teachers at Annette Perry, and it just worked out the way it was supposed to.
Oh, good. Yeah. So you said you'd always kind of wanted to go to animal control.
Yes.
Tell me about that, because not everybody wants to go and
No,
go to animal
I mean,
control.
I've just always had just a love for animals. I mean, growing up, we always had cats. I always wanted dogs, but my mom was more of a cat person. So pretty much as soon as I could, I got dogs. Actually, one of my first dogs I got was born in the jail, and I had him his whole life up until he was 16.
So I want to make sure I heard that right.
Yeah,
Born
so
in the jail.
Yeah,
Okay.
so two of the nurses that were there, they had 2 dogs that they bred, so it was a little wiener dog. And he was actually born in the jail. I was there the day he was born. So I had him for his whole life up until he passed last year. And so in between him, I've always had about 4 dogs. So right now, I've adopted 2 from the shelter since I started working there. So I have 4 dogs and 1 cat currently. So
Wow.
yeah, it's madhouse.
That seems to be a trend. Most of the staff over at Animal Control have at least 1 or 2
Well,
that they've
one,
taken home
he
with
was
them.
adopted just a little bit prior to me working there. And then the last one that I adopted, she came in as a stray literally the day I started.
Wow.
So she kind of fell into like this weird pattern where the shelter was closed for all the kind of 4-day weekend holidays. So
Yeah.
I got to spend a lot of time with her, and I just fell in love with her. And we took her home to meet the other puppy, and they're in love. We
Yeah.
couldn't separate them if we wanted to.
I can't take my daughter
Yeah.
or either of my sons to a pet store. We'll end up coming home with something,
Yeah. So it's just nice, and we get to go and help them and take care of them and feed them and play with them and just kind of get them ready for their next adventure. And I just have always kind of wanted to do something like that. But once I started so young in my law enforcement career, I felt like it was something I should continue, and until I had the ability to kind of take a step back and be in a position where I could go and start out part-time to kind of learn. And I'm just kind of glad that it worked out the way that it did. So yeah.
What's the favorite thing about your job?
Playing with puppies. We did, but I think this morning when we started, we had like 15 puppies of, different litters and stuff. So it's just fun to go and play with the puppies and kind of watch how they learn and kind of grow while we have them. And then get to go onto their new homes, and hopefully their parents will keep us updated on them. But it's just, who doesn't love puppies?
Everyone loves puppies, right?
Yes.
Everyone loves puppies. So you
For
say you
sure.
have a kiddo.
I do. He is 6. His favorite thing is t-ball. He likes to play football, but he doesn't want to play football. He just likes to play catch. But yeah, he's in 1st grade and about to play t-ball again in the spring. And he loves the 2 new puppies. They're his favorite. So that's how he puts us in order. Athena, Winston, Mommy, Shay Shay. So that's the order. That's his order he's picked. Yeah.
Well, that's good. So we talked a little bit before we sat down, and you know the question is coming. What is True North to you?
So for me, it's mostly, to me, True North makes me think about like home. So for me, home is the most important thing. So my goal was to come back here and finish out my time with the city, because it just, great people, great benefits, great retirement, to be able to finish out my time. So that way, you know, once I get to that point, everything will lead back to home, to where we can take care of everything there and kind of do what we want to do at the end of that, which is actually travel in a camper. So
Travel in a camper, okay.
So we'll definitely have to know which way is north with that.
So that has 2 meanings for you then, right? Yeah.
Yes.
It's what's important, and it's where you actually need to go. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Well, anything else you want to talk about? Any questions for me, or?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I think we're good.
Well, thank you for coming
Yes,
back
I
to us.
appreciate
We really
it.
appreciate it.
Thank
It's
you.
great to have
Thank you for bringing
and
me back. I appreciate it.
That's great. Thank you for meeting me today.
Yes,
I
Joe, have a
appreciate
good day.
it. Yeah, you too.
Thank you.